Hello, my lovely learners. Welcome to Bloom and Grow Education. My name is Meredith. In today's lesson, we are doing some descriptive writing around the emotion of panic. This lesson is suitable for Year 2 through to Year 6. So today we're going to be looking at this emotion thesaurus, a writer's guide to character expression by Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi. I really like this because it helps us to have ideas about how we can show, not tell, our emotions. And one of the most important ways that we can improve our writing is by showing and not telling. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a fun activity. You will need a family member or a friend or somebody to help you with this, but you don't need them just yet. I'll tell you when you need to go and get them. What you do need right now is a piece of paper and a pen or pencil so that you can write something down, and pause the video now and go and grab that. So we're going to start off by having a look at these emotion monsters. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. It doesn't, that fits fairly well on the page. Shy, scared, sad, happy, angry, hopeful, confused, embarrassed, frustrated, worried, disappointed, guilty, proud, excited, stressed. So the activity is to describe your emotion monster without actually using the emotion. So let me give you an example. Here's mine. I threw my book against the wall and screamed, "Nothing ever goes my way," I shouted and stamped my foot. So which one of these do you think it is? Now, it's meant to be frustrated, but if you had chosen angry, maybe even stressed, then that would be okay, because there's a fine line there between frustrated and angry. If you had chosen hopeful, something's gone wrong. But do you see how I have described frustrated, but I haven't actually used the word frustrated? Here's another example. He puffed his chest forward and grinned at the onlooking crowd. He raised the trophy above his head and shook it triumphantly. Which emotion monster do you think it is? It's meant to be proud, but again, excited, happy would also be close options. So again, I have described pride without actually using the word pride. So you need to choose one of these emotion monsters and write 2 or 3 sentences describing the emotion without actually saying the emotion. And when you have done it, I want you to go and find that adult, friend, family member from before, read it to them and see if they can guess. Now, if you chose sad and they think disappointed, I would just let that go. That's close enough. If you chose sad and they think it's happy, then you need to go back and try again, right? And maybe do a couple of them. So try shy and then try guilty, or stressed and then embarrassed. Or try a couple of them, play around with the skill. So what we're doing is we're practicing our show, don't tell skills, because our writing improves with show, don't tell. Okay, so pause the video, go and do that activity now, and then come back and we'll keep on going with the lesson. Okay, so coming back to our emotion thesaurus, and we've got lots of different emotions here on the side that we can look at. But the one we're looking at today is a sudden or incapacitating. Incapacitating means that you can't do anything, like you're frozen or paralyzed. A sudden and incapacitating fear that produces neurotic or illogical behavior, which means like crazy behavior. Now, we don't often refer to panic in that way. That's really intense panic. That's like, there's a shark a meter away from me panic. Usually what we refer to as panic is more like stress. Like, I panicked because I couldn't find my pencil before my test started. Or I panicked because mum was going to be home 5 minutes and I still hadn't tidied up my bedroom. That's more like stress. But we're going to go with panic anyway, because that's what I want to talk about in today's lesson. We have quite a few pages. We're not going to do all of it. So you can see these physical signals and behaviors: quick, shallow breathing, eyes over wide, and it goes on for quite some time. Internal sensations, mental responses, acute or long-term responses, associated power verbs. So I don't want you to read all of that because we're going to be here all day. So all I want you to do is read page 1, page 2, and then the associated power verbs at the end. And what I have done for you is put these into a document for you so you can access. So here is the document I've got for you. So I've just copied and pasted this into a document for you. This is linked in the description box below. So I would like you to click on that link and open it up so you have access to it for yourself, for your own ease of use. If you would like, you can also print it off and highlight ideas. That's up to you if you've got access to a printer and that's what you find easier, or you can just work straight off the screen. So the physical signals and behaviors: quick, shallow breathing, which is the same as hyperventilating. Hyperventilating is a little bit worse. Eyes that are wide and showing the whites around the iris, squeezing the eyes shut, clenching and unclenching the fists, folding the body over to make oneself small. Veins standing out on the neck. So these veins here, they might stand out as the blood pumps. Involuntary moans and whimpers. Being on edge, so jumping or difficulty concentrating. Sitting very upright and being quite alert. Grasping the side of one's head and trying to gain control. Hands that shake and flutter. Muscles that look tight and clenched. Body tremors, which is very similar to shaking and fluttering. Sweating, flushed skin. That's when the face gets red because of the blood's rushing to the skin. And let's have a look at the associated power verbs. Verbs are doing words. So choking, cling, collapse, faint, flee, which means to run, flinch, freak out, like go crazy, gasp, grab, hide, hyperventilate, jerk, you might jerk someone out of the way, scrape, shake, shudder, sob is crying, sweat, tremble, and whimper. So I would like you to choose some of the words on this list. You don't have to use every single word. You'll be here forever. Just choose a few of them. And then I want you to imagine that you are walking through the jungle or through the forest, and all of a sudden you come across this terrifying tiger snarling at you. And I want you to tell me your body's response to this. So if you're in year 2 or year 3, yours might look something like this. The tiger walked out of the shadows. I was sweating and I whimpered. I was so frightened. So sweating and whimpered were here. Sweating here and whimpering was up here. So that's a very simple example. You could, if you know how to make yours more complicated than that, then please go ahead. This is what I would expect from year 4, 5, 6. What I'm doing up here is setting the scene, and then I'm bringing in the panic vocabulary. I stepped off the path to pull at the branch, and then out of the shadows stepped the tiger. It crouched low and snarled at me, its fangs dripping with blood from its last kill. So this is me establishing the scene so that the reader understands what's going on. Then this is me using my panic vocabulary. Terror pierced my heart and I squeezed my eyes shut. I wanted to flee, but all I could do was bend over into a tiny ball. I whimpered uncontrollably until the tiger stalked off. So I've got flee, whimpers, folding oneself over and making oneself small. So I haven't used, and I squeezed my eyes shut was there as well. Squeezing eyes shut. So I haven't used every single word there, but I've just picked out a few to use to write my descriptive paragraph. And so now what I'm doing is I'm showing my emotion to the reader rather than telling them I was so panicked when I saw the tiger, which is boring. So the showing is what helps to make our writing that much better. Okay, so you guys can go off now and write your descriptive paragraph based on that panic vocabulary. And it should be, if you're in year 2 or 3, maybe 3 sentences. Year 4, 5, 6, I would say 5 or 6 sentences for your paragraph. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for all of your hard work. I'd really appreciate it if you could please thank me in return by liking this video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll see you at the next lesson.